Have you ever felt like no one's really listening? Your doctor, your partner, your boss, your family, or felt unprepared for puberty, pregnancy, motherhood, or even menopause? Perhaps you've been called too sensitive, too emotional, too talkative, or wondered why you earn less, care so much, and still feel like it's never enough. If you find yourself nodding right now, you are in the right place. In this podcast, we'll unpack the expectations and systems that shape women and share how we push back, rebuild, and lead with kindness. I'm Camille, and this is Kind of Bold. I don't know about you, but there have been so many moments in my life when I felt frustrated, angry even, and I wasn't quite sure why. What I didn't see was that I was working overtime to adapt to a world that wasn't built for me as a woman. You know, it could be the small everyday things like not being able to reach the top shelf or the car seat belt cutting into my neck, feeling trapped in bras and heels, or shivering in an office clearly set to someone else's comfortable temperature. Or the far more serious things like having my medical symptoms dismissed or facing the frankly shocking lack of adequate postpartum care from others. One thing I've noticed is that whenever we point out that mismatch between our bodies, our minds, and the systems around us, we're told we're overreacting, too emotional, not resilient enough, or my personal favorite, that we should get over it. And what happens then is subtle but powerful. We quiet ourselves, we soften our edges, we try to be more agreeable, more grateful, less quote-unquote difficult. We're taught that kindness means staying small and that boldness means being harsh or unlikable. And we as women, myself included, we often don't even notice our own complicity because we have been conditioned to adapt, to work harder, and to push through just to fit into systems not made for us. I didn't have the words to express this feeling until one night when it finally clicked. I was tossing and turning in bed, hello perimenopause insomnia, when I had this epiphany. All the dots in my life connected at once. I realized I wasn't the one being too sensitive. The system was. And that moment became this podcast. Today, I want to be clear about what kind of bold is and what it's not. It is not about women versus men or tearing anyone down. Many men are and should be strong allies in this conversation. In fact, I do hope men listen to this podcast not as targets, but as partners, so they can better understand what women are up against. Kind of Bold is also not a parenting podcast, even though we'll talk plenty about motherhood and family, because that's part of many women's lives. And by the way, this space is for all women and for every path. And by all women, I mean this broadly. Our conversations will reference women's experiences, but gender is diverse and personal. We'll use the term women to include anyone who identifies as a woman or has lived experiences connected to womanhood. And finally, this podcast is definitely not a pity party. We're not here to dwell and struggle or to inflame. We'll talk about real, serious stuff, but we'll do it with honesty, curiosity, confidence, and a lot of kindness. Because here's what I believe. We don't need to choose between being bold and being kind. We can be both. Kind of Bold was created to build community, share knowledge, and help you feel seen, supported, and empowered in your everyday life. My hope is that this podcast becomes a kind of second home for you, a space where your questions and experiences are understood and met with empathy. That's all for today. I can't wait to dive in and connect with all of you wherever you listen to your podcasts.